Hello friends, this is Ramna. Today I will show demo on how to add constraints to the existing columns in a table. So first I will show my table. This is my EMP table. So I don't have any data. Just I have 8 columns are there. Okay. So here if you want to check the constraints in the table, okay, we can use sp underscore help with table name. And if you execute this command, you can see here this is the schema and structure of the EMP table. You can see columns and respect to data types, length, everything, and whether it is nullable or not. If the column is nullable, it is showing no. Okay. So here, if you have any constraints, if you come down, you will see all details of the constraints. Or you can also use Object Explorer on the left side. Expand the database. Okay, so expand your table, EMP table. So here you can see constraints. So right now you don't have any constraints. Or if you are expand columns here, if you have any constraints, suppose if you have a primary key constraint on ID column, you can see here some black key symbol. Okay, like this you can find out different constraints in the table. Okay, right now I don't have any constraints and data also. Okay, now here I want to add constraints to some of the columns in the table. So these are the columns. Okay, now I want to add primary key constraint to ID column, not null constraint to name column, check constraint to salary column. So what is the condition here? Salary should be greater than or equal to 25,000. That is the condition for check constraint. Okay. Department. So I want to add a default constraint. So here I am setting the value, default value as HR. So HR is the default department for any employee when he was not assigned to any department. So by default it will consider HR department. And finally, unique constraint to email column. Okay. Now I will show one after other. To add or to drop any constraints, or if you want to change schema and structure of the table, you have to use command called alter. Alter table. So first I am trying to add not null constraint to name column. Alter table. So table name is EMP. Okay. Alter column. My column name is name. Okay. Next, data type. So here I am giving data type as nvarchar with 400 length. Okay. Just you can mention not null. What happened if you assign not null constraint to name column? So here you can see nullable. It is showing yes for all. So once after assigning not null constraint to name column, it will change it to no from yes. Okay, that means from here onwards it won't accept any null values in the name column. Now I am copying this, paste it here. So commands completed successfully. Now execute the query. You can see here against name column in the null. You can see it's no. That means it will not accept any null values. Or if you expand EMP table and columns, now you can see in the name column null. That means you refresh your columns. It is showing not null. See, it is showing not null. So earlier, all these columns are null except name column, it is showing not null. This is for not null constraint. So go back to the table. Next. So I am trying to add check constraint to salary column. Alter table. So table name emp. Add constraint. Add constraint. So my constraint name is ck underscore emp. Table name underscore column age. This is my constraint name. So check is the constraint type. Okay. Now I am adding condition. Salary not age here. Sal should greater than or equal to 25,000. Now I am trying to run this query. So command completed successfully. Just refresh your constraints in Object Explorer. Expand this one. You can see ck underscore emp underscore salary. If you want to see the condition in the check constraint, so just use sp help. So here you can see check constraint on column salary. This is constraint name. This is constraint key. That is the condition we are using in the check constraint. Now this is for check constraint. Okay, what is third one? Default. So I want to add default constraint to email column. Same, alter table. So table name is emp. So adding this add constraint. Okay, df underscore emp is the column name, table name. So here I am taking dept as the column name. Okay, default just mention HR. So I want to set HR department as the default department for in employee table. So if you have any default constraint, you can see in the down. So right now I don't have any default. I have only check constraint. I'm trying to execute. Yeah. So we need to add for which column? For department dept column. Okay. So select this one, paste it here, and execute the query. Its command completed successfully. Now, how to check your default value? Go back to the schema and structure of the table. Expand, come down here. So default on column department. This is constraint name, and this is value of the default. Or you can expand these constraints. Refresh the constraints here. Earlier we have ck emp sal. Now you have df emp department. So three constraints are completed. Now I am adding email unique constraint to email column. Alter table. So table name is emp. So here I am adding add constraint. UK means some unique key emp. Column name is email. This is my constraint name. Unique, just mention email. Okay. So I'm copying this line. So paste here, execute, and check the schema and structure of the table. So come down here, you can see unique constraint. Unique is a non-clustered constant. So this is constraint name. This is the column we are creating unique constraint in the table. Refresh your. Now last constraint, I want to add primary key to ID column. So there is only one primary key in a table. Now I am adding primary key. Alter table. So table name emp, add constraint. So my constraint name is pk underscore emp underscore id primary key. This is my constraint name. Type of constraint I am assigning to id column. So take this line. So what it's saying, cannot define primary key constraint or nullable column. What happens if we see here in the columns, in the id column, it is showing null. So primary key constraint is used does not allow null values and duplicate values. So once you have to change this null to not null constraint, we have to change this null to not null constraint in the id column. So just you have to do just like name column. Okay. Alter table, alter column. First you change the id column to not null. Alter column id, okay, integer is data type, not null. First execute this line. So I'm trying to see here again. I am repeating, it is showing null. I want to change it as a not null. So what will happen if you apply not null constraint? In the name column, nullable column, you can see no. For id column, it is showing yes. So once you change the id column into not null, command successfully, just refresh the columns. You can see id with not null. See id with not and emp. Execute the schema structure. You can see no. Okay. Now you can write. You can execute this command. What is the command here? Alter constraint, alter table, add constraint, pk constraint. Okay. So I'm taking this whole line. The commands completed successfully. Refresh your columns here. Now you can see black key symbol against id column. That means it denotes this is the primary key constraint. Okay. Now you can see here in the schema and structure of the table. See, it is showing no. No means this column does not accept null values. Okay. And if you come down here, primary key. So primary key by default it will create a cluster index automatically. Okay. So on id column you are creating primary key. So you cannot execute this line in the existing table. Once you change that column into not null, and you can execute assign primary key constraint on that column so that it will affect. So this is how you need to add the constraints using alter command for existing columns in the table. So thanks for watching the video. Thank you very much.